Hey guys, Hurricane Liz here, and I screwed up royally, so I apologize to all you guys watching this on the replay, but I created a poster for 5 p.m. Eastern because our guest today is straight out of Scotland, and it is late where he's at, so I knew he wasn't going to be able to show up that late, so I created the webinar for 5 p.m., but then I created the GoToWebinar link for 7 p.m., so I royally messed up. I apologize. I am ready to rock, though. He's ready to rock. I know we're going to have a lot of people watching this on replay. So all you guys that are on there are kind of going to be the people that are the most happy because your questions are going to probably get answered. Most people that are on the replay are probably going to be pretty freaking ticked off at me because of the fact that their questions are probably not going to get answered, at least not anytime soon. So, I'm probably going to get quite a bit of tomatoes thrown right at my face, and I apologize, but here I am. Here's my famous poster. He's excited for the show. He's ready to rock and roll. He's got his skateboard, and let's get started. So tonight, it is all about keyword secrets. What do I mean by that? Well, Smack and I were discussing this, and we talked about the fact that most people don't even target the right keywords. And really, all of those secrets begin from the product selection phase, and that's where most people mess up. They don't have the right tools to select the right products. Well, tonight, everything changes for OMG, and that is because of the fact that we are going to introduce a tool that we've talked about before, but never quite demonstrated the way we're about to tonight. So tonight, we bring that creator, Michael Devlin. Again, he's straight from Scotland. It's very late over there, but he agreed to get on this webinar with us and show us at least a little bit of the power behind the tool that he's created by the name. It's called Profits Engine. Remember that name. As I said before, this is cutting edge stuff. Nobody else out there has access to this tool. You guys really have got to take advantage of it. I know I've been taking advantage of it to its full potential, but let's first bring on, before we introduce Michael, we've got some housekeeping things to cover, but we'll cover those after Michael talks, because of the fact that it's late over there. Let's first bring on the person that discovered Michael and his tool, Smack. As I said before, Smack's been jet-setting all over the world, and Smack's been to so many places, Smack's seen so many things, but this was the very first thing that excited the hell out of her. In fact, that night she went out, she got a bottle of Johnny Walker Black, and she said, "This one's for Scotland. I'm going to drink all this." Thank God I met Michael Devlin. So Smack, tell us more about Michael.
I don't think it was Johnny Walker Black that night. I think it was either a Cabernet or a Malbec. Do you remember, Michael? It was definitely red wine. But we had a lot of it. No, I met Michael at Traffic and Conversion in San Diego earlier this year, and I still remember where I was standing in the corridor where he walked me through Profits Engine. I was standing there with Theo Handon, and we just looked at this thing saying, wow, this is absolutely amazing. And every feature that Michael presented was another bomb that dropped. And, we were standing there figuring this was going to be a 5-minute conversation on our way to lunch. We wound up standing in the corridor going through this for quite a bit of time, and then met Michael for dinner. So it was really great. It was also really great that, we were able to convince him to offer some bonuses to OMG, like his Tweet Academy, which if you haven't watched that Google Hangout where he demonstrated that, you really should do that. And then in addition, rather than a low-price trial for 30 days for Profits Engine like he offers everybody else, he's offering OMG people free Profits Engine for 30 days. So you can use it both to do product research and create funnels for your business, as well as, get a look at some of the teasers for all the great functions that are coming. So we were able to convince Michael to delay his sleep a little bit more, come back on, and give us a walkthrough of Profits Engine. If you haven't gone and, loaded it up for your free trial, you should really do that. If you've had a chance to play with it and you have some questions, now is the hour to ask the questions. And we'll try to make sure we go through all of those before Michael leaves us.
All right, and 2 things I wanted to point out that you mentioned, Smack. One of the very first things was I'm excited to have Michael on here, of course, but this is the second webinar he's been on, the second webinar that somehow or another I've jacked it up, or his connection was really bad. So hopefully the third time's a charm, and we can get him on a third webinar with your guys' questions and some more examples. But in the meantime, let's let people know that we're on this webinar, even though I screwed it up. I am inside the OMG way, so hopefully the rest of y'all can jump in there. In the OMG way, just give a hashtag. I'm trying to think of something that lets everybody know that I screwed things up. Let's do three's a charm. Basically saying, look, I've screwed it up 3 times a charm. Next time we'll get it right, but let's at least get 20 hashtags in there, three's a charm. As I said before, though, those of you guys that are on here should take advantage of the fact that there's very few of you. We've usually got 1/4 the usual participation in here. So 1/4 of the participation, take advantage of the fact that your questions will get answered by the developers. So get in there and ask them things. Get in there and throw in some examples. With that being said, Michael, are you ready to kind of demonstrate some of the power behind this amazing, amazing tool that I certainly love? It is my #1 favorite tool right now.
Liz, thanks very much. It's great to be on again with the OMG machines. Love collaborating with you guys, some of the best marketers in the world. And again, Susan, absolute pleasure. You've been championing us with Liz, of course, and it's just a pleasure to be on here and way up to the wee hours of the morning. It's actually only 10:30, but nevertheless, sounds good. But it's really good to present this with you. And like you were saying earlier on, just as we kicked off there, Liz, this is all about keywords, and the difference between Profits Engine and some of the other tools that are out there is that Profits Engine focuses on the actual keywords, and it will bring you back the sales metrics round about the actual key phrase, long tail, multiple variant phrases. Doesn't really matter what sort of search term that you put in. The products will differentiate no matter where you're going to pull that back, right? So if you're going to pull those, if you're wanting to find out search phrases on a really weird keyword inside Amazon, you will be amazed at the type of numbers that are behind some even misspelled key terms. It brings back some crazy numbers on products that you wouldn't even think of.
Awesome.
Spec, did you have anything to add to that? I know, yeah, I just cut you off.
No, just that sounds awesome. That sounds awesome, and hopefully we won't lose Michael's connection when he loads it up to take everybody through the demonstration.
Right.
So that's exactly what we're going to proceed forward with just now, guys. Is actually go ahead and just start pushing forward and really getting this screen share here. So can you guys see my screen at this moment in time, or?
I just made you presenter, Michael, so we'll see here in a minute if everything loads up right.
So show my screen. I've just shared my screen. I can see Liz on my screen. Hi, Liz.
Hi, Michael.
So can you see my screen okay? Nice and quick, no slowdown, sound fine?
Looks good to me.
Fingers crossed.
Okay, so let's get started. So what I was saying earlier on, guys, is that we can use a variation of any key term. And the good thing about Profits Engine in comparison to the other systems that are out there is that you can use multiple different keys to bring you back a selection of products over on the right-hand side. So, for example, cycling gloves, we can look at if you insert the key term, the key term that you're inserting is going to be in German to get the accurate numbers back here. So this is really important when you're using the Profits Engine tool. You have to make sure that the keyword insert is actually native. So, Smart guys, have any? Do you guys have any? Example?
Hey, Michael, I think we're running into the same problem. I think what we're gonna have to do is again have you on in a future sometime.
Can we try it that I share my screen and he just tells me what to do?
Yeah, let's give that a shot and see what happens. Because really, I think we were hearing him just fine, but as soon as he started sharing his screen, everything went down the toilet.
Oh, I would use another word, but I guess we're PG rated now, not
Oh,
not that.
everything went down the shitter.
Okay, Michael, can you do what you want to do with the version of Profits Engine I have?
Okay.
So why don't you close down Profits Engine and I will share my screen, and then you can just tell me what to do.
Okay, so do you want me to clear my browser here? Perfect.
Okay, can you see my screen?
I can see it, Smack.
Perfect. So, Susan, what I explained to you is
Okay, Michael, your bandwidth still sucks. Why don't you? I'm sorry. Why don't you log off and log back in again? And hopefully that'll fix it. So we'll have you the way you were before. And does that sound okay?
Yeah, let's see if we can get him. If not, like I said before, guys, we will get Michael. Get your questions asked here. I will get on a call with Michael and Smack, and we will record the actual lesson. But don't worry, tonight we still got a lot of stuff to cover. We got a lot of people's keywords.
Actually, I don't want to hijack your webinar, but Shauna Martin brought up something really interesting in the questions that happened to her today. It'll probably take her about 5 minutes to explain. I said maybe we'd have her on later. This is a really cool hack. Maybe we could bring her on now, and she could just talk about it and tell everybody. And by the time she's done, Michael will be back.
Okay, let's see what we can do. Let's bring her on. Let's call an audible here. Let's see if Shauna wants to come on first of all. And see, she might not even want to talk to us. Let's see if I can find her here. Shauna, let's take a look.
I just unmuted her.
Okay. Shauna, are you there?
Shauna, are you there?
Okay.
Yeah, I hear her.
And it's every day, right?
Hi, Shauna. How are you? I think we might have lost Shauna now.
Okay, Liz, I guess it's us. You know, none of our guests can talk.
I hear Shauna now. Hey, Shauna, how are you?
No, I'm just trying to make sure. We probably should have a meeting this week then so we can discuss, you know, what the day-to-day stuff with the camp.
Oh, shoot. We unmuted her and she's on a phone call. Okay.
Oh, shoot, I didn't even know you guys had unmuted. Look, I'm on. Let me call you right back. I'm sorry. Hey, guys.
Hey, Shauna, how are you?
I'm good.
Good, fantastic. So, Smack has brought you on because she thinks there's something that you've got to share that's so exciting that it's worth sharing with everybody. So, why don't you let us know what's going on? This is a surprise to me. Unless you're going to sing me happy birthday or something or jump out of a cake, then I don't know what the heck she's talking about.
I probably cake before I jumped out of it, so that's probably not gonna happen. But yeah. So I went sourcing last week, and I found these Disney blankets. In one of the places that I sourced at. They're like those no-sew fleece blankets where you make it yourself. So I searched on Amazon. I tried to find it because it looked like it was already there. There was another blanket that was similar to it. So, I searched for it. I did a reverse image search. Like I tried to find that image and it wasn't coming up at all. So I'm like, okay, great. Then I go to create the listing. You know, I started the process. I created a really super duper awesome keyword rich title. I added, like, I went through all of the steps in creating the listing. And then once I got down to the UPC, I entered the UPC code, and everything was fine. I went to the next page, you know, to start filling in the details for the offer, and then a little exclamation mark popped up next to the first tab, and I went back, and it was like this. It said my title, my my title, my UPC, my manufacturer number, all conflicted with another ASIN that already existed. And I was like, okay, well, let me go search the ASIN. I took it told me exactly what the ASIN was for the product that already existed. And I went and searched for it, and it was nowhere to be found on Amazon at all. But it still wouldn't let me create this listing. So I called support. I got put through to, you know, the original, like, layer of support where the Indian line, and the guy was telling me to start creating a flat file and upload it. So I started working on the flat file. But then he figured out that wasn't going to work, so he transferred me to the catalog team in Costa Rica. And so I'm talking to this guy, and we were on the phone for a little bit, but they were getting ready to go home, so I had to wait a whole day. The next day, we were on the phone for about a couple of hours trying to figure out what the problem was. The guy was real nice, too, because, you know, like, I knew it was the end of the day, and I was just like, you know, you could just call me back tomorrow because, you know, he was getting ready to go home. I didn't know what time what time they closed. So the next day, him and a couple of his teammates, they, like, went to bed, like, trying to figure out where this ASIN was. And then we came to the conclusion it was a deleted ASIN. So it's just like, okay, well, can you just reinstate it? But when they went to go search for it, they couldn't find it either. Come to find out, somebody had created the listing and deleted it in Canada. So that's what the problem was. It existed, but it didn't exist in Amazon US. So what they wound up doing was pulling that listing over into Amazon US. And once they did that, I was able to, he stayed on the phone with me and made sure that everything went through. I was able to upload my images, go in and change the description, you know, add some keywords on the back end and whatnot, and everything was fine. But it was just really frustrating because it's Disney's UPC code. Like, I didn't create a new UPC or anything. I took exactly what was on the package, and it wasn't working. It was really frustrating, and it took forever to get it done, but they worked it out. The guy was awesome too. So just be nice to the person that you're talking to, because you know, you be harsh with people. You like to say they'll catch more flies with honey than you will with vinegar. The guy was really nice and really helpful a lot.
Well, awesome, Shauna. Thank you for sharing that with us. So, Smack, what do you gather from this, and what do you think moving forward people should be aware of?
Well, it's just there are all kinds of frustrating things that can happen when you put in that UPC code and try to create a product. And this was the first time I'd ever heard of this. I know you can't when it's already there, but the fact that their systems are so screwed up that if it's been created in another Amazon system, it won't let you create the new listing here. But it doesn't tell you that, so it's something to make sure to ask the catalog team to check all the other Amazons, and then they can bring the listing in and you can list the product.
Very interesting. Good stuff, Shauna. Thank you so much for sharing that with us. That sounds like it was a heck of a lot of trouble to actually go through the entire process, but hopefully I wish you nothing but the best luck on the actual product itself, which should sell pretty well. I mean, I'd imagine that it would sell quite well. So
Amazon is selling a frozen blanket that is, because mine is a Tinkerbell one. So Amazon's selling a frozen blanket that's really similar, the exact same thing actually, and it's doing pretty well. I think the BSR is in like the 40,000s or something. So,
nice.
But it's in a weird category. So I think that may have something to do with it. But yeah, I think he even the guy on the phone was like, oh yeah, our Disney products, he said that's going to definitely be gone by Christmas. He's like, Disney does really, really good, so you should be fine. Like, the guy was really chatty, and he told he gave me a lot of like Amazon insider type stuff. It was so funny. I just let him talk. I was just like, oh yeah, really? Okay, great. Wow. Well, how does that work? Because we spend most of the time actually talking about the flat files. because that's something that I'm working on right now. So I got a lot out of him in terms of working with the flat files and, who I could contact to talk more about that. Because that's how they were going to have me fix it initially, was to just upload it via flat file.
Right. Awesome. Very cool.
Okay. Well, guess what? We have Michael back on, so I can be his remote control hands. I'm showing my screen, and we can get going. Thanks so much, Shauna.
No problem. Bye.
So let's cross our fingers that this works out. I'm going to go in and put myself on mute to avoid the bandwidth problem. And we're going to see if Smack and Michael can get this working. And if not, don't worry, guys. Smack and I are ready to continue forward. So here we go. Good luck, guys.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, so can you hear me loud and clear, Susan?
Absolutely. You sound great.
Thank goodness for that. So you're going to be my virtual hands, right?
Yep.
So as you and Liz were speaking about just prior to coming on and before we got some technical difficulties with the bandwidth problem, some of the tools out there, they don't really focus on keywords. They will pull back whatever it is and they will kind of jumble it up all and you then have to download it into a CSV file. It all becomes a little bit messy. What Profits Engine does is it focuses on keyword variations and it will change the product and the numerics round about the actual product sales itself. So, Susan, can you go ahead and just punch in any keyword combination of a product right now and let's have a look at what that looks like and what products it will pull back?
Well, why don't I look at, Josh put together a list of what people were looking for. Let me see if we look at that keyword master list. Do you see this, Michael? Would you like any of these look interesting?
Yeah, just go ahead. You pick them at random, and that's good. Or any suggestions that the ONGers have got, then just let's put them in.
Okay, well, why don't we start with wall clock? How about that? That's the first one on the list.
Perfect. Let's do it.
Okay. Wall clock. There we go. Do you want me to go with Amazon US or do you want me to go with one of the other?
Yeah, I would go with Amazon US for the time being. That would be the best. I'm going to come to some of the details round about why we're going to do Amazon US and the variations that we could put in once we go down, because we can do US, UK, Germany, Italy, France, and Spain, and so on and so forth with this demonstration. So go ahead and stick that keyword in and then hit analysis for me, please, Susan.
I did. It's right here.
I'm not seeing anything on the screen. The screen's not changed.
Neither am I, Smack. Let's see if are you showing?
You showing all screen, or are you just doing presentation?
There it comes. No, it just popped up.
Go. Excellent. So, wall clock. Get my pronunciation correct on that one. So this one, for example, is this one at the top is shown as 345,000 if you scroll down. But if you put wooden wall clock, for example, Susan, and see how the variation will come back. Different products back. It's pretty slow, but here we go. Different. So it's again, if you want to put in a negative spelling on the actual wall clock, maybe take out one L, for example.
With wooden or back to the original wall clock?
Yeah, either or. Doesn't matter. You choose. You're totally the virtual hands in this relationship. So you see the difference where it's pulling back. That's a completely different products to the double L. So that's a kind of misspelling. So this is just to get out to everybody as well. That when you're doing your product research, particularly with Profits Engine on Amazon, is never discredit the ability of a misspelling, because if you put a misspelling in there, you can find a product that's doing some really good numbers. And then you can go over to view more information and have a look at that live, have a look at the amount of numbers that product is actually doing. And then you can have a look at view on Amazon and have a look at if is Amazon stocking that product and what its actual rating is all going to be about. So that is one of the key methods and one of the main USPs when you're doing product research, particularly with the actual Amazon product engine. And again, Susan, we can do this with multiple different products. You can do it with long tail. You can just play about with this for as long as you want, really.
Okay, what would you like me to do next?
So let's say, for example, if you wanted to track the performance of this product, let's go and type in cycling gloves just for a quick example here. And again, you're getting exact numbers back, but this actual listing here, Susan, is completely different to the phrase that you punch in. If you were to type in the exact key phrase over on Amazon, this is not the products that you will get back, and it will be completely different products that you'll get back. So Profit Central pulls you back the products that are based on bestseller, not based on the actual indexing or the ranking of the product based on the key term inside Amazon. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so if I wanted to search for cycling gloves on Amazon.
Yeah. Like so.
Okay, it is showing.
As soon as you break this down, Smack, you're going to need to answer the dummies version, which I'll be asking here in a second. So go ahead and show everyone what you're talking about. Then I'm going to ask the dummies question here in a minute.
That's okay, Liz. It makes it lots of fun. Okay, so what it's showing here, the number one that it's showing for cycling gloves, isn't that Zuki is the number 3, but on Profits Engine it's number 1. So, Michael, does that mean that Zuki is the best seller here, but it's obviously pulling its sales from a keyword other than cycling gloves?
It's pulling the sales based on all of its key terms that product will be indexed for and selling for, Susan. So we focus on the best seller as opposed to the highest ranked, i.e. the number 1 bestseller. We focus on the best selling product for multiple variations, and we take that and we also look at the what Profits Engine will also do is it will take that key term and it will use an algorithmic calculation around Google keyword trends and have a look at and add a metric inside there as well, so that you can see that as you can see that product that we're looking at for cycling gloves indexed at number 1, that's an estimated annual revenue across 12 months. So it looks at the volatility of the product itself as well, which is really important because some of the other tools that are out there only look at the sales in isolation on a monthly basis, and that is really dangerous because something that is hugely popular in January, vitamins for example, might not sell as well when you come into March or April. So that is something that as an Amazon seller, when you're coming to bring your brand to market, you need to keep that in the back of your mind. You have to keep that in the back of your mind at all times, that you want to look at your estimated annual revenue over a 12-month period.
And guys, just real quick, wanted to interrupt here. Again, the dummies version. If the dummy in the room is also getting all sorts of crazy ideas, the rest of you guys that are, well, smarter than the dummy light bulbs should be going off in your head at this very moment to exactly what Michael just said. So for those of you guys that didn't clearly understand what he said, I guess, Smack, can you give us a dummies version?
Yeah, that when you use other tools, and I do, like, for example, Jungle Scout or ASIN Inspector, it will tell you what was the best seller last month. So in January, it basically is telling you what the best-selling Christmas gift was. In May, it's telling you what the best-selling product in April was. But when you're picking a product, unless you're planning on only doing seasonal bundles like we talked about last week, you really want to pick a product that's going to sell for you well all year. And so knowing what it did last month, isn't really helpful. So in January, everything is going to look good because everything sells well at Christmas. And in March, everything's going to look crappy because most things don't sell very well in February. But what Profits Engine does is it lets you know what's going to make you the most amount of money on an annual basis.
Yeah, 100%. And that is the same across, so I know that a lot of Amazon US sellers are trying to break into Europe right now, in the United Kingdom and across Europe, right, Liz? Right, Susan? So this is really important for you to have a look at cross-channel markets as well and have a look at the volatility. We factor in the different markets. We look at the volatility in the United Kingdom. We look at the volatility in Germany. So as long as you put in the native spelling for Germany, then the system will pull you back the accurate information based on the algorithmic calculation that we use. That goes for Italy and Spain and for obviously for the United Kingdom. And go ahead and hit analysis and it'll pull you back the data, Susan.
Well, for UK, it's thinking.
It's thinking about it.
Yeah. Okay. Boy, so Zuki sells well in the UK too. Not as well here,
yeah.
But they're obviously there.
Yeah, and bearing in mind that you've got 10 times the population in the US, so you have a situation whereby you have 10 times the sales ratio almost. Not always the case, but in some instances. So take that into consideration. But if I was bringing a product to market, I would definitely be looking at the UK. The UK, to get your product branded into the UK market on Amazon is really easy because you've got one-stop hub, and then you're straight into Amazon FBA if you're looking at small scale. So it's a real good way of getting your brand saturated, and you can grow your brand really, really quickly. It's the way that I did it with my 7-figure brand that we sold in 2015, which was a sports bottle, right? So this is a whole brainchild behind gathering all of the data that we've got here. But the other thing that you can do here as well, Susan, add a product to an idea bank. So if you're a seller in the US and you really don't know what products to track and you don't know if you're going to bring a product to the United Kingdom, if you want to brand it for the UK or brand it for the US, then you can use your idea bank. And this is your idea bank, Susan, so it's not going to reflect mine. Mine did have cycling gloves in it, so for data. But if you don't mind showing the engineers some of the data that you've got in your idea bank, if you go ahead and click on the idea bank right now.
I think I emptied my idea bank out last week when we were going through this, so I don't think I have my data.
You don't have any idea. So
here we are. Yes, we do have something that we were talking about last week. And this should actually show, I just added those. Let's see what kind of data we have here for these gloves that I had when I was talking to somebody. We've been looking at it for 2 weeks. Is that, if I click on competitive analysis, that will show what the idea bank has tracked?
Real-time data like so. So this will give you the real-time data analysis on the estimated sales of that product. It will give you the consistency of the sales, give you the product price, so that if you can see a spike in sales, you will see if that there's been a price drop to trigger that sales spike. And again, you will be able to see the Amazon rank and how that sales spike is manipulating the rank. The lower the rank, the better, right? We all know that. So this is for you to monitor. So if you've got loads of ideas, guys, and you don't know what product to bring out in the US, you can monitor products that you're thinking about in the UK. You can monitor products from Germany, Italy, in the US, and the Idea Bank will monitor the sales in real time for you on all of the Amazon platforms for you simultaneously and in real time, so you don't have to worry about it. Then you can go back and you can make a decision of bringing a product. You might find a product that's in Germany that's not in the US, for example. So you might want to track it for a while and potentially bring it to market. So this is a real cool way for you to cut months of competitive analysis out and turn it into days, really weeks, in all honesty. And you can track unlimited amounts of products in here.
So, just for example, this was, and I think we were actually talking about this here, or maybe I was talking about one of my coaching clients. Everybody jokes about silicone oven mitts, that the market is saturated, but when I was at Canton, I found the new thing were these silicone oven mitts that are actually lined with fabric. So they work really well as pot holders. And I thought these were great, and I put them in the idea bank, and it shows now it's selling for about $13. But now when I look at the information, this is showing me, boy, even on the bad days, they were selling 30 a day. So they've been selling, between 30 and 55 a day for the past 2 weeks. The price has been pretty stable, between $13 and $15. The rank has bounced around a little, but, in home and kitchen to have a rank between, 1,000 and 1,500, that's pretty good. So this looks like, if you like something in the $15 price point, which is reasonable for it, because I know they were selling, the product cost is between $2 and $2.50. So depending on what the competition is, just based on putting it here in the idea bank and then disappearing and going back and looking at it, this looks like a good product. Wouldn't you say, Michael?
100%. So it's going to give you the right margin that you need. And if you can just flip over into the calculator system inside Profits Engine for a second, Susan, then what we can proceed to do is go into the income goal calculator, for example, and using the metrics that you've just mentioned and the cost and the retail price of the product. So let's say, for example, you wanted to earn $100,000 per year, £100,000 per year, doesn't really matter what that's going to be. I see a whole load of digits in there. I wonder what salary you're looking for there, Susan. Selling price of the product. So let's base it on the mix that you were talking.
There's about $13. The cost of the product was, let's say, about $2. I think it was $2.05. Boy, the shipping price, these won't be a lot. I'll put in maybe $1. Marketing spend per sale, that's your expertise. What do you think?
Marketing spend, well, the reason why this particular column is in here is just because your product will sell on Amazon doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be viable from a profit perspective inside paid search. So this is really important for you. So let's say 80 cents, for example. So this 80, so 0.80.
0.0. Okay.
Yeah. And then if your annual fixed costs, if you're married, 200,000.
Very funny.
So annual fixed costs, those could be anything from put anything in there. I mean, if you're wanting to pay yourself a salary, for example, you could stick $35,000 in there, for example, or 35,000, because nobody works for free. So let's stick that in there and see how it affects
5,000. Okay. Well, this says you need to sell 952 units a month, and based on what we were looking at in the idea bank, this product has been selling between 30 and 53 a day. So it certainly hits the minimum of the $952 a month that we're looking at if we want to sell 100,000 a year and pay ourselves, a little salary out of it without reinvesting.
5,000 as well. So if you want to pay yourself $5,000 per month and you want to earn 100,000 per year, that's 952 units per month on Amazon you would need to sell for that particular product. Using Profits Engine, using the product finder, and using the idea bank. The other calculator that you can use is the cost per click calculator, Susan, and what that will do is it will tell you if that MIT or the product that you're bringing to market is going to be viable on paid search. And this is another area and a real sensitive area that just because it works in Amazon doesn't mean to say that you're going to be profitable when you start to drive traffic, because you are going to want to push your sessions up, and that either is sponsored inside Amazon or driving traffic from Facebook. So this is the paid search ROI is a great calculator to differentiate that. So if we just click on that and punch in the same numbers that you've punched in, then we can go through that and find out what it tells us at the bottom.
Okay, well, here, now, what do we know about number of clicks, average cost per clicks, conversion rate for this?
I would say number of clicks, I would turn around and say maybe 1,000 based on 1,000 clicks.
Okay.
Average cost per click, 0.80 for that niche. that's relatively low, or if it's a kitchen product, could be around about that conversion rate. I'm going to say an average, industry average of about 4%.
So does this go in at 0.04 or 4?
4.0.
4, okay, 4. Okay.
So this tells you it's a non-viable product. So what you have to do is either reduce the average cost per click or increase your sales price. So this would be a £20 cost per conversion. So this tells the OMG or the new Amazon student that I need to find a product that's going to work in paid search, not just inside Amazon, because my business is more about just building my business on Amazon. I've got to put paid search round about it to get that magic 6-figure number. To get 6 figures in Amazon, you're going to have to drive traffic, either internal or otherwise. So this is where I would say, really importantly, is where you should combine your competitive analysis with your product finder, your idea bank, and run your numbers against the calculators.
Got it. Because this is saying our cost per conversion, the cost per sale is going to be about $20. So that unless we thought we would have a much higher conversion on our ads than 4%, or if the cost per click is a lot cheaper, this product won't work when you start running paid ads to it.
Yeah, it's a lot different if you're going to run a retargeting method that I think Liz is going to talk about later on. If you're going to retarget inside Facebook, for example, then you can reduce that cost per click to 3 cents if it's a custom audience. So if you just change that cost per click a little bit, then automatically it becomes viable at that point. So your gross profit per sale is $12.25, but you have to get your retargeting on point. You have to find out how are you going to go about that while staying inside the old terms of service and all that sort of stuff. And again, you might just think that selling price of that product is just too low, too risky. Do I want it up at 15? Do I want it up at 18 or maybe £22 or $22? That's something you would want to make that decision on when you're bringing this product to market. So it's really interesting when you're putting these calculations together from a competitive analysis point of view of what product to market. Have you got any questions around that, Susan?
Do you have a database or a table by niche that people can use to come up with what the average cost per click and conversion rate they can expect?
Google Keyword Tool will give you a complete data dump of every single cost per click and every single niche. It's particularly your own niche is all you're really interested in, but Google Keyword Tool will do that for you in a heartbeat. It'll give you your average cost per click.
And that data is good enough for estimating the cost of Facebook campaigns?
Absolutely, 110%. I think obviously the retargeting data will differ, but of course once you've acquired that customer is yours, and numbers can be somewhat different anyway. But definitely a benchmark as a Google paid search, I would definitely be going after. I would be going into a Google Keyword Planner and Google Keyword Tool to find out what my average cost per click is for that niche. Because
I don't know if people listening just realize how important this is and what an incredible bomb that was dropped here. Because we spend all our time thinking about, is it a profitable product just on Amazon? But of course we're going to want to sell more and we're going to want to drive traffic to it. And here we have a tool that will do that calculation for us. We can plug the keyword into Google Keyword Planner and get a cost per click when you're dealing with a general audience, before you've gone through retargeting and trying to refine your audience, and come up with whether or not the product at the price level you think it's going to sell at is going to make you money long term. This is really great. Liz, what do you think about this?
I think it's really exciting, especially with us talking about all this, like, get some traffic outside of Amazon, get it via Shopify. If you don't know how to put up a site, get it up via Shopify. But run some ads, not just Amazon PPC, but Google PPC or Facebook ads, which we kind of have talked about a couple. I had a couple of emergency webinars last time with Matt Schmidt, and he broke down a lot of really great tips on how people can do that. And I also talked about my friend who actually runs Facebook ads for Amazon, and he does quite well. He's very successful with it. But I'm just saying that if somebody's doing successful Facebook ads for Amazon, then there's no telling what kind of success you can have running those Facebook ads outside of Amazon. Because remember, at the end of the day, Facebook loves physical product sellers. So all it is as simple as just learning Facebook and kind of messing it around with it for $5 here, $10 there to really drive sales to your actual site. But again, very invaluable. I found a couple really interesting things that I didn't even know it did. I really love the income goal, which again, I like the simple stuff. I like the dummies version, but I like the way this breaks down because you really can find, especially within Amazon, the profitable keywords. So continue. This is awesome. And I got to tell you which thing I love too, that I didn't even realize was in it, and I've been using this thing for 2 months because, as I said before, I'm so excited about the basic stuff in it that now that I'm seeing some of the more advanced, I'm like, holy shit, I can't believe I missed that. I had no idea there was a freaking idea bank and that it could monitor my competitors and tell me how well my competitors are doing, not only in the USA, but also in France and Germany, in the UK, in space even. Seems like Michael's even programmed space in there. So for me, that's truly like so exciting for me. I can't wait to get offline here, quit the webinar, and fill up the idea bank. So thank you guys for joining us. I'll see you all later.
Michael, back just to a question with the Finder. So it works for the other countries, but for example, it doesn't translate. You're going to need to translate it yourself. So if I want to...
all you have to do really to simplify that for the listeners who are Facebook Live or OMGers at this moment in time, Susan, is really go into Amazon.de, and if you go into Amazon.de and type in cycling gloves and hit search, then you'll get the proper German descriptive of that, and then you'll pull that key term out and flip it over into Profits Engine, and it will reverse engineer the niche for you in native.
Okay, so we put that in, cycling gloves, here I am in Germany. Okay, now, God only knows, okay, this must be Halbfinger Hand, whatever, must be the, do they do it in auto-suggest?
Yeah. So here is where I would take probably one of the strings there.
Yeah, it's probably, that probably means cycling gloves right there, right? I mean, you would pick the language that I have know nothing about. So you go into Amazon Germany to figure out your keywords. Oh, but Amazon US, they're not going to pop up, right? It's going to laugh at me. Oh, guess what? We do have some German coming out, and it's actually for dummies. Okay, well, that sort of figures. That's what I have. Okay, so Amazon Germany, so here we are, the Halbfinger Handschuhe, whatever those are. Sure look like, but I don't think we got cycling gloves here. We have another kind of gloves. So.
But again, whatever that make is, it's going to pull it back. But once you find, and you go to Google Translate, for example, again, and you're using Google Keyword Tool, and you then flip that over into the correct abbreviations. Now I'm just using cycling gloves as a prime example, but you can have Google Keyword Tool translate for you in German and take out those keywords and flip them back into Profits Engine to find out how strong that niche is, for example, in Germany if you would want to break into that, or France or whatever. But as long as
it must have been fingerless gloves, but that's still 135,000 euros. Let's see what this next word is.
Regardless.
Here we go. These are like nylon gloves, 105,000.
So there's opportunities flying all over the place, and you've just picked two terms. That
Right,
you don't
two
even.
of the words from them. Not that I have any idea what it means, and I'm not looking at the questions. There's probably somebody on this webinar that speaks German that's laughing at me. Oh, I guess they're also for yoga. That must be yoga. So we can look at the yoga mats. Boy, yoga mats are pretty saturated in the U.S., but looks like there's still an opportunity for them in Germany.
And if you go ahead, go back into Profit Sync in a second for me, please, Susan, and just click on View on Amazon.
Okay, let's see what this next word was. I'm getting carried away here. Oh, these are performance T-shirts.
So there you go. So you're going to be you're finding niche after niche after niche, and like it says to you, niches that are saturated in
underwear.
the US.
Underwear.
Yeah, fingerless gloves and underwear. Where's your head at tonight, Susan?
Who knows? But they're going for 36 euros.
Yeah, it's good profit margin in there. You'll be able to produce them for some. They look really good quality. You would need to be a little bit closer.
Because there's a demand for good quality boxers in Germany.
Yeah. So again, like I said, if you go back to searching a key term or a phrase, then a niche that is completely saturated in the United States could be a massive opportunity. And if you click on the product, it will tell you when it first started selling in Germany as well. And we will have Japan. We will also have Canada in here as well. So we'll have that all coming over the coming months. But it's currently in strong beta. Roughly by August, September time, we'll be in full MVP, where we'll have the product ready to go fully commercially. All of the ONGers that are on tonight will get access to this to test it. Everybody who's on Facebook Live as well is also going to get free access to this. So anybody that comments on Facebook Live and says that they're in, then they're going to get free access to it also. So again, this is one of the fastest ways to reverse engineer Amazon. What's selling? What can I brand? How can I build a brand around about that? And just literally within a couple of minutes, Susan, you got lost in keywords and you were finding product after opportunity, right?
Who knew that something called American-style boxers sells so well in Germany? That's American-style boxers. Hello? I mean, I don't know what they normally wear in Germany, but...
German-style boxers, I mean?
I don't know. What's the difference? It gives boxers versus briefs thing a brand new take a look. But anyway, that's.
But the power is in the brand, and if you can get the brand correct, right, then this is you can write into. I mean, this is where I sometimes I laugh when I hear is this Amazon all over? Is it saturated? It's only just getting started. It's crazy. The amount of opportunity that you've got right across Amazon for building a brand is insane, particularly with a tool like Profits Engine, which is an all-in-one system that won't just allow you to find out the product, that won't only just allow you to break down into analysis and competitive analysis of as many products and ideas as you want to bring to market and monitor them in real time every single day, but it will then tell you if that product is viable, if you want to advertise it off of Amazon. So there's so many people overlooked that to have a successful brand on Amazon, you have to drive traffic externally from other sources. Because Amazon's only going to give you so much traffic, especially when you're a new product. There's so much you have to do to get it, and we all know that. So this is where the education part comes in, and this is why excellent, amazing marketers like yourself and Liz are out there to teach that sort of stuff as well. And that's why we've built a system like that to take the students by the hand and literally safeguard them, Susan.
No, it's awesome. I mean, I love it. I love it. I use it all the time. I play with it all the time. And I'm also really excited about the stuff that isn't in here yet that you're coming.
Yeah, well, what we've got coming in here is we've got the retargeting feature where we will be able to download a whole load of customer details who have opted in, and we'll then be able to find a live Facebook feed. were looking at earlier on in the calculator where the cost per click was 85 pence, for example, or 80 pence, and Google is going to tell us what that cost per click is for any one of our niches that we're going into, so if we're in healthcare or beauty. And what the profits engine system will do is it will take the mobile number and it will find a live Facebook account for it, and it will retarget them with an advert if they've already purchased from you off Amazon. So that is something that we're building that is going to be live for full test mode and in flight in the next 8 weeks. So I'm super amped for you guys to be beta testing the ass off of that, for a better expression.
Okay, I'm just going to go into Google Keyword Planner just for a minute because I know we probably have some new people that are not experienced SEOs that haven't used it before, so I can just show them how easy it is to look for a keyword. So if I wanted a silicone oven mitt, which you before had said was 80 cents, and I put that keyword in here.
This is a real easy way to find out exactly what people are going to be paying for it, because Google
So
literally
this is
is
showing
the
60 cents.
Yeah, so that's going to be
Oven mitt, 60 cents. So if we go back to the paid search, does it save everything or not? No. Okay, so the selling price of product, if we put in $13, 1,000, now we know that this is 60 cents. You said an average conversion rate is about 4%.
4%, yeah, and the 4% is a really good conversion rate, I have to say.
And it's still saying it is not a viable product. Now that we're using good information here. Now, if you could market it effectively and get it up maybe to $15, suddenly you're at break even.
Your profit is what your break even, but
sell it for 19,
and you're in profit. But that again defines whether or not that, for example, you want to use that for a lead magnet. So you could use Amazon as your lead magnet, and you could then retarget to the customers inside Facebook to buy a more expensive product, for example. So you could use the retargeting profile and the retargeting system. So don't just look at bringing a product or a brand to Amazon to make it to exhaust profit. You could, if you are a smart marketer and if you've got the budget to do it, obviously, and you've got money behind you, you can use it as one of the most powerful lead magnets out there. Because
so here you are, right? And you know that you can sell it on Amazon at that price for 30 to 50 of them a day. But in order to make money with external advertising, which is driving it more, you're going to have to charge more. Now, I don't know how full it is here, but you have this great tool that you can sell something off Amazon, creating a landing page here with the funnels. And so we could do, if you could actually set up without having Shopify or anything, you can sell your physical product off Amazon just using Profits Engine, correct?
Absolutely. So we've got a similar system to Shopify, where we'll create multiple landing pages. You can create up to 300 landing pages, but let's keep it really simple for the newbies that are on. That you can create a landing page in here inside 8 minutes with no development, no coding. All you have to have is transparent images, understand some good copy and text about your business, and you can plug it straight into PayPal, or you can send it straight to Amazon FBA, or you can send the order straight back to your Amazon listing. And we're also creating that into a Facebook plugin as well, so that the actual traffic stays inside Facebook. But to answer your question, Susan, and for the purposes of the ONGers and everybody that's online, yes, we certainly can create an Amazon landing page inside 8 minutes, for example, and we can select our traffic source. And this is another thing that I want to get out here right now when we're talking about this. People say that websites should be, device responsive. Well, they shouldn't just be device responsive. They should be platform responsive. Because if traffic's coming from Twitter, then my USPs should be pulled about and rearranged for mostly for cellular device, because 95% of people on Twitter are using a mobile. So our system uses artificial intelligence, and it will ask you, where is your traffic source coming from? Is it Twitter? Then it will make sure that your USPs are pushed up in eye level for the smartphone. So now, a lot of funnels don't do that, and a lot of squeeze funnels certainly don't do that, and some products out there that will remain unmentioned. But when they're getting you to build a funnel, you're cramming a whole load of information. You're cramming videos. You're putting text of your product. And someone's coming in from a mobile device might have to scroll for quite a bit to find the buy now button, and that's going to kill your conversion, Susan. That's just one part of it. It will also ask you, are you driving traffic from Google? Les mentioned this at the start. We're looking at Google paid search. Now, most people who are bidding on paid search on Google are bidding on a competitor's key term. So the funnel wizard will ask you, why is Michael's product better than Susan's cycling gloves? And when you put the funnel out, it will have Michael's cycling gloves are better than Susan's because here are the USPs of Michael's cycling gloves compared to Susan's. So what it's doing is it's optimizing the landing page for the conversion.
And this landing page is hosted by Profits Engine, and somebody doesn't have to be spending $25 to $40 a month for a Shopify site in order to have it. So you can build a funnel that drives traffic to Amazon, but you can also build a landing page that you can use to do Facebook ads, Twitter ads, Google ads, and sell your product without paying Amazon a commission, selling it off Amazon. You can use your Amazon inventory to fill the order, but you can sell off Amazon just using Profits Engine, even if you don't have another website.
100%, and you can even put your domain name in here. We'll host it for you. Profits Engine hosts your landing page. Your domain name in, we can customize so that it's got your own URL for SEO purposes, which is super important, and for social signals. But the other cool thing about what Profits Engine does is that you can run one landing page that pushes the orders back to Amazon FBA, which is fulfillment by Amazon for everyone that's listening, and you can have another landing page that's running Facebook ads that you're picking and packing and shipping from your bedroom. So you've got two different traffic sources running, all from the one platform inside Profits Engine. But this is being specifically and strategically built for the bedroom and for the scalable e-commerce market. So it's really thought about everything. That's why it's taken us so long to get to market, because we wanted to perfect every angle of it. And I think we've thought pretty much everything will help you scale and grow your business from scratch to 6 and 7 figure businesses.
So again, so you can start with looking at keywords in the product finder, coming up with a product. You can park them in the idea bank, and it will gather information for you about the products. You can then use the calculators to see, can you meet your income goals with that product? Can you make money with it? And I've got to give you my break-even analysis spreadsheets. You can build a calculator for that in here too. And then you can also figure out what you need to charge if you're going to drive traffic off Amazon. So we looked at those gloves before and found that yes, you'd make, just selling on Amazon, you'd make your income goals for the year just selling on Amazon. But if you want to sell off Amazon, you're going to have to price it at like $19 to make a profit with the ads. You can build a funnel that drives traffic to Amazon at the $13 level, and then you can clone that same funnel and sell it off Amazon at $19. This is amazing, Michael, and this is only with what is in here already, not all of that huge list of features you showed me that you're working on over the summer.
Yeah, and we were working on an OMS system, which is an operating management system that talks. We have a £1 million store in the United Kingdom, and we've been running our own inventory management system off of that talks directly to it's integrated with FBA. so we can raise our own purchase orders, we can do all of that good stuff. But again, that's a little bit high level, but all of that will be in here, and that will be accessible once you need it inside Profits Engine, and once you migrate into there, because once you scale up past 5,000 units, you are want to become a really smart marketer. You not want to park all your stock and your inventory inside Amazon. You want to make sure that you've got portions of your stock inside Amazon, but you might want to be running deals elsewhere, and you might want a drop ship fulfillment. FBA prep centers are popping up all over the place for a reason, and your system will allow you to have that visibility, not only of the stock that you've put in inside FBA, but also the stock that is sitting in the Amazon FBA prep centers. So this becomes a complete operating management system for running your e-commerce business, top to bottom, as well as a marketing suite.
This is awesome. Awesome. Should we go through and see if there are any questions in here that we can answer? I'm looking at my question screen. I probably don't want everybody to see everything, but actually the last question.
Go ahead and answer that one, and I'll see if I can pull some up.
The last one here, Michael Monahan wants to know what the price of Profits Engine is. Now you get it. You're going to get it free for 30 days, Michael, and then after that it's going to be $99. Is that the case, Michael?
You know what, Susan? We made the fundamental decision that we're here for the entrepreneur. We're here for the physical product startup, and we're just going to keep it blanked at $99 a month. Now, as you scale up in your business and the more SKUs that you have or ASINs that you have that you need to manage, then that price might increase ever so slightly. But at the end of the day, we want to keep it a fixed price, job done. I mean, we're not going to put $500 a month because it can calculate your stock. But we've already did all the programming. We've already paid for all of that stuff. We've already tried, tested, and road tested it. So $99 a month is probably where we're going to drop the hammer and make it one of the most robust and complete Amazon systems or systems for growing your physical product business. I don't want to just keep saying Amazon, but it is specifically designed for Amazon, I have to say. But as we move on, we'll adapt for drop shipping and doing what we have to do on a physical product fulfillment basis.
So without even talking about the calculators and the keyword functionality, which replaces a fair number of tools, your price is basically equivalent to ClickFunnels, and you replace that. You can replace Shopify, which goes anywhere between $25 and $40 a month. And then you're not going to need a product that generates super URLs because you can do that automatically in the funnel. It's a search found bot every time somebody goes through. So that's another $20 or $30. You track inventory and let people know when they need to reorder. So we're already way above, in terms of the tools that you can cancel to pay for a Profits Engine on a long-term basis.
Absolutely, 100%. And that's what we wanted, Susan. I mean, we didn't want to be ClickFunnels. We didn't want to be Lead Pages. We didn't want to be Samcart or any of the other shopping cart systems. We wanted to be our own system. We wanted to be Profits Engine. We wanted to be unique. And, we have a one-click upsell system in there, which I know are products in their own right that are being sold for $99 a pop. But we wanted to combine all of this stuff. Why? Why would we want to keep adding $99 on functions and features that should be the norm? Because it's all about the conversion. The more products that we sell, the better marketers that we become, and that ultimately is where we're at. That ultimately is where we are at as entrepreneurs, is where I am as an entrepreneur, to get back into a community that has been so good to me as an Amazon seller and has got so many amazing people inside it. But for me, there's too many individual products that are really great with some fantastic interfaces, but they're not complete. They will help you in one aspect and take $99 a month, but they do very little to help you operate and scale your e-commerce business. And that's ultimately what Profits Engine is designed for.
So, Liz, do you have any questions?
No, Samantha, it's pretty much all been straightforward. I mean, the thing that I'm looking forward to, I know a lot of people are looking forward to, there's not a lot of questions for Michael because I think he was so clear, is obviously he's got a lot of things coming on here in the future. But as I said before, for me, the big game changers are just the fact that it analyzes things, not based on where it falls within a page, but how well it's actually really selling. So actually, I do have one question for Michael that I just thought of as I was looking at some of these things is, does this only analyze the top 10, or is there a way to get additional information on it?
When you say analyze, are you meaning in the product finder, Liz?
Yeah, like when you use the Amazon Finder and you say, like, if you go back to the cycling gloves, the 10, is it 10 that it pulls up? I don't even know the exact count.
Yeah, I think it's the top 20, the top 20 revenue poolers, because really beyond that, you're not really interested in anything that's selling $1,000 or $10,000, because the opportunity is, you really want to be looking inside the numbers. How many reviews does it have? How long has it been selling on Amazon? What's its sales rank? Those are the attacking features that you should be looking at, in my opinion, with that. So yeah, that's the reason why we only pull back so many on the first page based around revenue only, Liz.
Okay, got it. I was just curious about that. The other thing that for me was super exciting was the idea bank, which I wasn't even aware of. So that is certainly something that I would definitely be that I'm excited about, and I know a lot of people will be excited about, because a lot of times a lot of people, they have this issue with pulling the trigger, and I think that's really a game changer for people that have problems with fear and are pulling the trigger on certain products. I did also just remember, so Idea Bank certainly for me is a huge plus. One question, though, that I did have for you, Michael, that I wasn't actually exactly sure what it meant. I know Smack sort of told me what she thought it meant, but I've noticed that especially in a lot of these products that we're analyzing from the perspective of seasonal products, so a lot of us have been analyzing seasonal products for one of our assignments here, but when you type something in like...
Give me a keyword and I'll put it in, Liz.
Let's try back to school bundle, and I'm not sure if this will actually pop up, but we go like back to school bundle in general. I'll see if I can find another one. It might even be like Valentine's Day bundle. It'll say on there no new items. So I guess I was curious as to what exactly that means. Let me see if I can find a word that has that. Yeah, no new items.
Starting to get data now. What that means, Liz, is the system's not got enough sales data, or the actual bundle might just be new onto Amazon, or the actual key phrase or the stock relating to that key phrase has actually been out of stock. So that means that we've dropped the data on it, or Profits Engine has dropped the data on it. But you can see that it's starting to populate the data up above again on the annual revenue basis, and that data will start to calculate and project forward. But as you scroll down...
So if a product goes out of stock and it was one of the high sellers, it's not going to show up here, which I guess that is an issue when we're looking at some of the seasonal things that we're trying to do.
We see it as the reason why it gets removed, because we don't see it as an opportunity if it's went out of stock. And if it's consistently out of stock and that ASIN is not there anymore, we know that it's probably a temporary product, like a bundle, for example, then yes, the system will remove it. Whether that's something that we want to look at to reprogram to keep it in, what we might want to look at historically and looking back the way, but certainly for any new student coming to the market, we don't really want to give them historical data on a product that was temporary, that done really well, but was a bundle that went out of stock or is no longer in existence. So that's why we don't pull the data back.
Okay, I'm now really excited, and I don't do retail arbitrage and bundles, but I just put in graduation to see what the top selling thing right now is for graduation. Look at this Photo Booths Props Kit. What a great bundle to be able to put together.
461,289 in revenue pullback. So you can see that once it's got the data, and if it's got consistent sales patterns, the product engine will pull it.
For just putting together, I mean, the cost of this thing, this is, little junky things, right? Oh my God. Okay, so you may not be able to buy it all now, but go ahead and look at the listing. It's such a crappy listing. Photo booth
Susan,
props.
can you go back a little second and just click back and go to view more information on processing for me a second?
Yep.
Thank you. On that same ASIN that you're looking at, if you can go into more information for me on that number one seller, or the top seller for that key term rather, you can see that that's 23,076 units. Now let's go ahead and see if you want to compete with that product. Go ahead and punch in 1899, for example.
Okay. And all those 23,000 units are probably May and June. Okay.
Yeah. So this is another calculator that the students can use. So percentage of current market you can capture. This is around the education that we're also providing, and that Liz is providing, and yourselves, the ONG Machines is providing. So percentage of current market share you can capture. Let's put 30% in there, Susan, and let's be conservative a little second. So that's
okay.
Estimated percentage sales increase via more effective marketing. If I'm working on your side, let's put 120%. Just kidding. You can put
okay.
You can put 40% inside there. That's fine. 40%
okay.
Liz,
good. The 40% for the percentage sales increase? Okay. Liz, what do you think that bundle would cost?
It's not going to cost very much. I mean, I'm thinking it's more or less like bunch of plastic, right? I mean, there was what in it? A cat, a bubble. Usually you hold them up with your hands. So I would think maximum $3 or $4.
Okay, if we put in 4, and then the fulfillment cost, the Amazon fulfillment cost, this is probably a cheap thing, right?
Yeah, it's very light. I mean, I don't imagine it's that heavy. I think even $4 is a little too much, but let's just say $4 is our target price.
Okay.
and then just replace that estimated percentage sales increase by take that out and put it back in 40 again. That's the cell that keeps playing up on me at the moment. So just
I'm sorry, I put in 40 for estimated percentage sales increase. Is that what you want?
Delete it, put 40 back in again, Susan.
It is. 40 is in there.
Yeah, delete it out again for me and put it back in.
Oh.
Okay, so there you go. It'll populate the fields. It's just got a little bit of a glitch in there now. So you can see you've got an annual gross profit of this product, whilst after all your costs of 78,906. So this is actually stripped back the entire niche for you and giving you a gross profit percentage.
Okay, and that's basically, because this is a graduation thing, so it's May, June, so that's for 2 months' work. You could earn $80,000.
Yeah, these sort of bundles, seasonal bundles, are no joke. I mean, we saw the 4th of July one. Again, guys, this tool is exceptional for looking at data like this, especially for private label products. Now, it's obviously not going to capture a lot of your seasonal products unless they keep them in stock, which a lot of them do. Going back to the Crow example that I gave the last time, those Halloween bundles, they are no joke. The 4th of July bundles, they're no joke. And as Smack just showed tonight, the graduation bundles, they're no joke. You just have to have a little bit of confidence and start testing out some of these bundles on your own. A lot of this data is not available for people out there, so they don't actually realize how huge some of these bundles are. If you guys rewatch that Thai bundling webinar, you remember the actual Valentine's Day bundle that she showed on there that was ranked 100. Imagine being ranked 100 in toys. That thing, they sold the shit out of that thing, and it only had something like 21 reviews because people are lazy. They don't want to shop for all these things. They want them all collectively at once. So again, this goes to show the graduation bundles. I mean, this stuff should really be exciting some of you guys, because all this stuff is a bunch of plastic that you can get in China. I mean, if Ty's watching this webinar tonight, she'll probably be drooling over this package and be really out to look for it in Iwu or wherever else she goes to source products, or at her trade shows to source this for 2017. Because again, 23 reviews on this thing, $80,000 estimated profit. That's huge.
For what? with, basically stupid little things for a photo booth. And guess what? High school kids are going to be doing this every year. Every school district in America hosts a project graduation to keep kids off the street where they have a photo booth. And then you have all the private parties.
So many opportunities from branding to
20 props, 20 dowels, 20 stickers.
Ridiculous. There's so many opportunities in this platform right now. If you understand how to break down the data, and obviously bundles, you have to be well planned in advance, and you have to have your game face on so that you're really prepared for the season coming up. If you go back into Profits Engine for me real quick again, please, Susan, seeing as that you're my virtual hands and my connection's not fast enough. So if you go down to your ocean and shipping timescales for me just now, this is one of the only calculators that are online that will do this for you. So if you go ahead and you just put in your departure location, go ahead and select your country.
Okay, China. And let's say we're looking at Shanghai. And we're going to bring it to Los Angeles. Oh, no, not the UK. Well, I guess it could go to the UK, especially if we're going to be selling there. But here we go. Long Beach, because we're going to do sea shipping, because we're not going to need this. Okay.
So what this calculator will do for you is it will break down the fastest route and give you the nautical miles and 17 to 24 days. You can plan ahead, knowing when your containers are going to have to be on the move or when you're going to be out of stock. And over time, Profits Engine will be able to predict based on your sales patterns. The idea bank, it's really important to tell everybody that's listening. The first thing you should do when you're in Profits Engine is put in your own product to the idea bank, because if it's tracking your sales, it's going to give you an alert as to when you're going to go out of stock. So again, you've got an out of stock alert. Amazon doesn't give you that alert. It gives you running low or a replenishment. But what you want to do is a reorder alert. You want your system to turn around and tell you, you need to order because within 24 days, you've got no stock left.
And Profits Engine will tell you that. I think my inventory is all in here, so I'm not going to open this up. But
no.
When you set up your link to Amazon and it populates it with your inventory, so you will know that. There's one other thing I wanted to show you, because I was talking to somebody today who was wondering about, he wanted additional products in his niche and wanted to know what to do. You don't really need to put a whole keyword in. If we're looking at cycling and want to see what is making the most money in cycling in the U.S. right now, it's sunglasses. $741,000 a year and they're not the expensive $300 sunglasses. They're $25.98. You probably buy them for $2 in China. So that, it's not a high quality product, okay, at that price. It's something they've just marketed really, really well.
Let me clarify something, Smack, that you just said that I don't know, I might have just briefly missed, but certainly a lot of people will definitely want to know this. Did you just say that on the stock and fulfillment, it'll monitor my inventory?
Yes, it will. You give it the connection to Amazon, that little API thing, and it pulls in your inventory and will monitor it for you.
So how many different products will it monitor?
Thousands. We have 2,200 in ours at the moment.
Oh,
our own personal account.
Did you hear that, Liz? 2,200.
We just enter the ACE. How exactly does that work? That without Smack having to show her screen, we just enter the ASIN that you want to monitor in our API. Enter our API key, and away it goes.
No, it pulls it. You do the connection. You give it, that little Amazon, whatever they call it, services thing, where you go in the back end and you give it permission to pull.
As soon as you put your MWS keys into Profits Engine will pull your stock out.
Well, I've got one word to say about that. I know I said I was going to keep it PG, but holy shit! Mike, it just saved me. That is like the most exciting thing out of everybody. everything that you just mentioned. I don't even know what the hell to say other than holy shit, because I'm more excited about this thing than ever. I've been using it for keyword research, not knowing that we would solve a lot of my problems of having VAs manually write in somewhere and then send me a report. You just pretty much made my night, Michael, and smack. So go to continue and teach us some more. I'm super excited about this. I'm going to put this on mute and start dancing around here.
Well, I mean, actually, it's a good thing that all the features aren't in here yet, because there's no way I could master them all. So it's a good thing they're coming out piece by piece.
And it's fractured as well, Susan, because it's context fractured. The more that you Todd Herman talks about that all the time as well, is that the more you try and take in, the less you can action, because there's so much information in here. And that's why we want to educate people bit by bit on the starting process, which is finding your product, making sure the metrics stack up, making sure you're making a profit, and then understanding paid search, because there's a new guru every 2 minutes. You just want your system to tell you, this is your flight deck, this is what, trust your stock, trust your inventory, and trust your numbers. And that is what, and we will have a toolbar that will be released to everybody, which is a Google Chrome toolbar, Google Chrome plugin rather, and we will pull back the sales rank, the actual, if it's sold by Amazon, if it's an FBA or FBM product, which is fulfillment by merchant or fulfillment by Amazon. And the other thing that we are pulling back is we're also going to pull back if the product is an add-on item, Susan. And that's another reason, Liz, that we want to mention that you might want to steer clear of add-on items, because some students can enter markets and not realise that these products are so low priced and are used as add-on items, and they become an absolute nightmare.
Right.
So I mean, that is something that we want to pull that data back, and that will happen as soon as you initiate the Google Chrome plugin, which will be released in the next 6 weeks. Then all that data will be pulled back as well. So when you're doing your product analysis, it will pull even more data back to tell you what to avoid, as well as opportunity. So I mean, this for me is basically the backbone of where most people should start in terms of a complete system to bring a branded product to market without the shadow of a doubt. And professional seven-figure marketers, Liz Herrera on the line, Susan McDowell, professional marketer, seven-figure marketer. I mean, guys, at the end of the day, OMGers, everybody else listening, Facebook Live, these people are the cream of the crop when it comes to Amazon marketing. This system is a one of a kind, and there's not a lot of system gets this attention on a webinar, right?
Right.
I mean,
right.
So I'm super excited, and all I can do is really reach out to yourself, Susan, and to Liz to say thanks for allowing me to showcase and give myself the ability to show what's coming to the market and what we've been working on over the past 8 months.
Absolutely. And you know what, guys? Let's get in the, it gets a lot of comments here. People could just kiss you, Michael. They're in love. Plant an extra one on, coming from a male fan that you have on the webinar. Once school is finished, we should all be sipping Mai Tais on a sandy beach. And like I said, they just showed a couple really great ideas. There's a lot coming. Again, if you guys enjoyed what Michael's had to share thus far, give him a hashtag. We'll see you soon, because I certainly enjoyed having him on here teaching us and showing us all these fantastic new features. If you guys are enjoying seeing all these new features and want to see him on some future webinars, let's give him a shitload of hashtags. You heard my reaction to the fact that his whole inventory module, pretty much I got a message from my VA here a minute ago from one of my assistants saying, Michael Devlin just created a product that pretty much got rid of my job. So, geez, I'm like freaking the hell out.
Yeah, the rest of all many thanks.
Well, the more that's automated, the more that you can have them do. I just want to go back to where I was before Liz was jumping up and down about inventory, just because we are talking about keywords and going back and research. If you don't know a keyword to start with, but you just know the niche you're interested in, here, for example, if you start with cycling, and it shows you, it's sunglasses are the first choice here. You can actually then, go into that a little bit deeper, saying, boy, you've got a pair selling, 741,000. Are they all doing that well, or is it just this one? And here you can say, nope, boy, look at all the rest of these. And we're not talking about expensive sunglasses here. We are not talking about expensive sunglasses. So do you know how cheap these are in China? It's like ridiculous. And look what they're selling at. So you can just start.
Susan, go ahead and put 3 S's just towards the end. A misspelling in there and a keyword and see what it brings back.
So this, you can use this to try to scrape. You're still getting the same kind of thing. So, for example, let's say we wanted baby instead of cycling, right? And say what's good to sell if you want to play around in the baby niche. Now we can all think. What do we think the best-selling product is? Well, we're not going to sell Pampers, but interesting to know that size 3 economy Pampers sell 2 million a year.
Yeah.
But we get down here. Oh, what a great idea! Summer infant complete nursery care kit.
So these are starting off. It's a really good idea, Susan, to start off with the master key term, and then go into Google Keyword Planner and ask Google Keyword Planner to give you ideas on key phrases, and Google Keyword Planner give you a Google Keyword Tool will give you tons of ideas around about baby monitors, baby grows, for example. Since I've had baby, my kids are,
I'm changing. Yeah, no, I was talking about baby today, and since my baby is, all my babies are old enough to have babies. So here, if I'm going to look for ad group ideas for baby products.
So you've got keyword ideas.
Yeah, in here for modify search. So let's say baby. What was that? Was looking at nursery care kit. And let's see what shows up.
I think we want to select the top one, Susan, because we're looking for phrases and ideas at that point.
Oh, right. Yeah. Keyword. Yeah, I want broadly related ideas on. Sorry, I usually do it.
No problem. Everybody's got their own way of working. But if you just click on keyword ideas over to the right-hand side, you'll see it next to ad groups, Susan. Like so. You click on it, it should give you a bunch of keyword ideas.
Let's just do baby. Okay, so my settings are not.
So if you go to modify search, Susan.
Yes. Okay, that's what we should do. Modify search. Yes.
Modify search. Go up to find new keywords. Just up the top, right up to the top, like so. Click on search for a new keyword using a phrase. That's the one there. Yep.
Okay.
So just put an example for product service. But again, this is a little bit drawn out because we're going to have to go through this entire setup process. But ultimately, this is a free tool that any OMGer or anybody on Facebook Live can go ahead and literally just come in here and find out what key phrase idea you want. Go back into Profits Engine once you guys get free access to everything that's happening. And there's what you've got just to bring you back ad group by relevance. So inside there is actual phrases as well, Susan. So you've got girls' toys, baby girl toys. So there's giving you a complete breakdown of ad groups with the actual key phrases inside. And it's also giving you a search volume as well.
So if I took wooden baby toys and went back to Profits Engine.
Yep. It will find them, and it will give them a numerical value. I mean, I've got to give a virtual high five to the engineers actually, because they've really got the system working really quickly now, so it's good because it's pulling back so much data. And bearing in mind, this has got about 220 people currently using it and probably on it as we speak.
So
here we've brought back, you know, a 7-figure niche on wooden baby toys.
Yep. For that. So let's say if we just went in here just with baby toys.
Again, I guess that's a $10 million niche.
Yeah, I would think so. I would think so.
So, well, there you have it. I mean, so do we have any question and answers from anyone on the OMG webinar? Any Q&As that anybody wants to get a whole load of love on Facebook Live because we're still up here. Any questions you guys have got as well, you can keep sticking them in. Looks good. Thanks very much, guys. But again, Susan, if you guys have got any Q&As that you want me to answer from any of the OMGers, then let's hear them and let's get some question and answers going.
There's somebody that wanted to look at the listing for the glasses, but we've missed that. Someone says, can you transfer a Shopify store to your profits engine? Not really.
Well, I mean, there won't be any need for that anyway, because our features in terms of landing page, checkout, and one-click upsell will do the exact same thing as what a Shopify store will do. It filters the inventory back to Amazon FBA, fulfillment by Amazon, so it will do pretty much the same thing, and also will push the inventory back to any fulfillment hub that you might have a relationship with, or anywhere in the world where your stock is currently parked. So, for example, I would go so far as to say that it does everything and more. The only thing that Profits Engine doesn't do yet, that it will do very soon, is in-tweet purchases with Twitter, and also the Facebook API, where you can buy inside Facebook within the store as well. We'll be working on that. We're a small team, we're talented, but at the same time, I've got some, in my opinion, 3 of the best programmers in the world currently working on the system. So we will just keep hacking and pushing until we get the most robust e-commerce platform for building and growing a physical product brand starting on Amazon. Just keep knocking it out. So I mean, you've seen this completely changed since the first demonstration of mass conversions in California, right?
Absolutely. Since Theo and I stood there and just looked at each other, it's like, wow, 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 and it's been really, really impressive.
I'm delighted, and it's again. I'm glad that Liz is now super jumping up and down excited, even more so than she was before, which is great to see. I mean, I've invited some of my own Facebook Live followers who are super excited to get free access to the Profits Engine beta system at the moment as well. So we're going to get all of them hooked up. So I mean, I think, I don't know if it's just me, but in terms of market research and competitive analysis, Susan, I don't think there's very many tools that will give you a rounded base to get your product launched and off the ground in minutes, really. Well, not minutes because you've got to get your product, but to find that brand, to find that direction, to find that business to go straight to market to, I don't think there's very many systems out there that is complete as this, even at better level at this moment in time.
No, I think it has great information, and I guess, of course, I've been privy to knowing everything you're adding, including, some keyword scraping, the ability to generate flat files, the additional things you're putting in the funnels. It's really, there's going to be nothing like it. And the ability for people to get in now, try it for a month for free, and then get in at that price, which you may raise later for people that are coming in while there are more features, is really cool, I think.
Yeah.
So
just to kind of finish off as well, Susan, and to reiterate that, I mean, for me, the actual Profits Engine platform is about making as many people a success with physical products as we can. It's not about getting them in there and hiking the price up on them. Yes, this is an early bird price. Yes, this is a better test price. But we want you in, we want a success, and we want you using all of the tools that are. This is 10 years worth of e-commerce experience, guys, that we're giving you. So we really want you to jump on board and take advantage of it and get yourself a physical product business up and running. The only difference between you and the specific bigger marketers is you haven't took action yet. It really is, that is the bottom line. And I'm getting so many questions on Facebook Live as well. I hope everybody on Facebook Live welcomed the fact that we've let them see the live demo of the version of Profits Engine in great detail, and hear the feedback from 7 different marketers. It's been fantastic to be on the webinar tonight. Loved it.
Awesome, definitely. We had a good time. We had amazing discovery because, like I said, I am super pumped about the inventory part, the idea bank, and obviously the finder were my favorite parts. Smack, what were your favorite parts? I mean, you've been working on this.
My favorite parts, actually figuring out a way to get through this with the crappy internet there is in Scotland. I mean, really. I thought about postponing this, actually, until the middle of July, when you and I were going to be in Montreal together, knowing that we'd have good internet in Montreal. And we're actually going to be in Boston in August, so that'll be good, too. And I know we have good internet here.
Yeah, I'm going to be one of the largest sports compression companies in the world for talking to me about Amazon market research. So I'm looking forward to visiting you in Boston when I get there. So
I mean, this is really impressive. Who the company that has asked Michael to consult for them is one everybody would know. I'm not going to mention the name, but it is, one of the top sports and fitness equipment companies in the world has found Michael Devlin and asked him to consult with them on marketing. You guys, you have no idea how lucky you guys are to have had him here today and to have the opportunity to get to work with the product, his information. When he joked before about the marketing increase, he goes, well, if you did it with me, it would be 120% more. It's really true. He doesn't toot his own horn enough, but it's pretty amazing.
That's awesome.
I appreciate it.
Awesome. Congratulations, Michael. Well, we're always excited to have you. Sometimes we get to have you with a great connection like this, and other times we don't, but we certainly enjoy trying. And I know people on here are posting in the Facebook group. And as I said before, guys, show your appreciation for Michael. Again, like Smack just talked about, he doesn't toot his own horn enough. So let him know how excited you are to have had him on here. And let's give him a hashtag. See you soon. Again, hashtag see you soon if you haven't put it on there. If you put it on there once, put it on there twice. Again, as Smack said, big companies paying him lots of money to consult with them, but you had him here live we're out at 2 hours. So he was on here for 2 hours showing you guys all that he's put into this and all that's coming. Again, this is a cutting edge tool. You cannot pass up a free trial offer on this. And again, if you're like me, you will very soon be addicted because of the fact that this is going to make you a lot of money. It's cutting edge. Not a lot of other people out there have this. Most people are still using other different keyword tools to help them with this. This is definitely my favorite intro keyword tool, as well as inventory management system. It just became my favorite form of managing my inventory as opposed to having my VA write that shit down on an Excel sheet. And again, it's got squeeze pages built into it. It's got idea banks that will analyze your competitors, therefore giving you the actual courage to pull the freaking trigger, which is the number one thing that mostly stops people, is pulling that freaking trigger and doing lots and lots of products. So remember, you definitely want to jump in here and take advantage of this really generous offer that Michael's giving you guys. Jump in there and just test it out, see what happens. So I just wanted to thank Michael again for joining us. And again, give him a hashtag, see you soon, if you want to see him again. Because again, this is a guy that consults for very big companies. He makes a lot of money. He donated his time and all of his energy to show us exactly what he's kind of brewing up. So that's my take. Smack, any last words from Michael before we let him get out of here and get on to his life?
No, I really and go to bed. Actually, I really appreciate. He's been on with us here for 2 hours. I just dropped the link in to the chat box, so anybody who doesn't have Profits Engine yet should go sign up with that link right now, and you can get your free month and start playing with it and discover gems like, I mean, just by playing around with the term graduation, we discovered that photo booth set, which I think could, make people next May and June more money than most people make in a year, just by playing around with the keyword graduation, just by playing around with that. I mean, think about that. If I was Cotton, I'd be saying I want a hashtag mind blown. Because that's really incredible. Playing around with this tool, we found one product that any of you could put together. You won't be able to buy the 2016, 2017 stuff, but the rest of the stuff you can go in and you're going to be able to pick up in the end of June, beginning of July at 90% off in clearance stores to put your bundles together for next year, and then just throw in some 2017 things and you're all set.
Right.
I think that amount of money.
Just to recap, guys, on all of the hundred Facebook comments that's coming in on the OMG group, just to say thanks to everybody for having me on. And also, if you want to follow me, you can do on Twitter @massconversion, and also send me a Facebook friend request. I love Facebook friends, and if I've reached my limit already, then inbox me and I'll send you a friend request straight back. And that's about it for me, because it's midnight and I've got to go and try and get my sleep on, because I'm up early in the morning to go do some more coaching.
Well, thank you very much, Michael. We appreciate it. Thank you for joining us, and we're excited to see you soon. So lots of hashtags for Michael. Thanks again, Michael. You certainly made my night. I know you made Smack's nights. So thank you again.
Thanks, Liz. Thanks, Susan, and thanks for being my first man. Susan, great job.
Thank you, Michael.
Awesome, guys.
Take care.
Take care, Michael.
Thanks.
So, guys, for the rest of you guys left on here, let's cover some very quick housekeeping. I know this webinar was almost a disaster since I fudged up that link, but we've got it on record. David Mills is going to get it immediately after it gets produced. It's going to be sent to him immediately, so the replay will be up quickly. In the meantime, what I want you guys to do is, Josh has written down all those keywords that we had questions on, and sprinkled in throughout the week, what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump on some quick webinars. They might be 10, 15-minute ones. I will record all of them, and I will start to analyze some of those keywords, and we'll do just what Michael showed us on here, and it gives you a chance to actually jump into your own profits engine, take a look at it. Smack, is there any way you could actually send me what that link is so I can display it here for people? Because I don't think people saw that on the actual screen. I don't see it myself.
It's in the chat window.
Okay, so guys, look in your chat window for the link that Smack just gave you.
But if you want it, I can Facebook message it to you. I think I have Facebook open.
Okay, great. That would be awesome, Smack. So give me just a minute to get that link to you guys, and that way you will have access to it. So with the questions, I will go in. I don't think there's really many questions. Like I said before, keep showing your, and you probably won't need me to do it, but for those of you people that missed out on this webinar live, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get on a couple of some kind of either Facebook Live or something like that and take care of some of these questions, because we went long. Again, we didn't expect Michael to show this much information, and so as a result of that, we really got deep into Profits Engine. So I'm going to pull up some kind of file here. Let me find a Word file here. And get you guys this link. Again, sorry about the actual, what's it called, link. I totally screwed that up. But this will go immediately to David Mills, and you guys can have a look at it. Post your questions on there. If you tag me, I will answer whatever I saw, and if I can't answer the question for you, I'll get somebody to answer it. So let me get Smack's post here for the special 1-month trial that he just gave everybody inside OMG. Again, cutting edge tool here. You do not want to miss the tool.
And that link also includes Tweet Academy that he went through before, which is like a $2,000 course. So it's awesome.
Remember, Tweet Academy is available. If you look at his original, here's the link right here. If you look at Michael's original webinar that he did with Smack inside of your OMG members area, this link is on there as well. As this is the link that will get you access to Tweet Academy, which is how Michael started his product from absolutely zero to selling it for 7 figures. So he sold his Amazon business. He did it all via the power of Twitter. Again, sometimes you want to just focus on one core area of traffic before you jump into getting to know everything. So you definitely want to take a look at this link. You will get free access to Tweet Academy, which is a $2,000 course, in addition to 1 month free of Profit Engine. Again, sorry about the mix-up on this, but on Facebook Live, Nova, I will post it from my official website. You'll just see it run live. I probably won't do it from that. I'll get out a Hurricane Watch with a link on how you can watch live on Google, a Google Hangout, exactly as I run through some of these examples. I know Josh Stewart is on here writing down all of the questions that you guys had in terms of the keywords. So I'm just going to do some extra webinars and show you guys exactly how you want to use Profits Engine to your advantage, exactly how we discovered many niches. So be ready, have your notes ready, have your pens ready, because guess what? We're probably going to unveil a shit ton of niches, guys. I'm not joking with you. We just saw several products today if you were on here live. If you weren't, don't worry. You're going to see them on a replay pretty quickly here. David will get it up pretty much as early as tomorrow. So what you're going to see is you're going to see exactly how to uncover a niche, and most importantly, how to really figure out other keywords that you can use. So that's what we mean by keyword secrets. Next week, though, we will be back with the product listing and the rest of the keyword research, how I use that. One of my favorite tools to do that with is Keyword Inspector. So we'll talk more about Keyword Inspector, and we'll show you how I do the keyword research, as well as Smack. We'll get Smack's take on doing the keyword research. There is no one correct way to do things. There are many different ways to skin a cat, and as you'll understand, the way I do things, Smack might not do them the same, but guess what? At the end of the day, we both sell the crap out of stuff. So you'll want to be on here to take notes. We're going to show exactly how a product goes up on Amazon, how the keyword research is done, as well as how the actual shipment process works. And we're going to send in our shipments. You'll get to see my shipment. You get to see what I send in. And I'm getting a lot of complaints via text. People complain that they missed the webinar. I'm sorry again. I will make it up to you guys as I show you over the next course of the week or couple days how I use Profits Engine every day on a live call somehow. So I'll figure out the logistics of it tomorrow. One last thing before we sign off. Tomorrow I will be live on a call, 4:30 Eastern, with Mental Game of Poker author Jared Tendler. You do not want to miss it. It will be broadcast via Google Hangout. I'll share the link in all the OMG groups. We're going to talk about common problems, mental problems in business, and why most people never achieve success. If you feel that something is stopping you, you have some sort of roadblock in your life, get on there, ask your questions live, and he's going to analyze them live every single Wednesday from this point forward. And trust me, by the end of a couple weeks of listening to this, you will have resolved almost all issues you have with that mental roadblock that's stopping you from becoming extremely successful. He did it for me, and he's now going to do it for you. And again, guys, this was a huge, huge difference in my income shift. I went from making 6 figures to 7 figures instantly just with what he taught me. So you guys should prepare to get taught and to get blown away. As Cotton would say, hashtag mind blown. We will be live tomorrow at 4:30 Eastern on Google Hangout, and you'll get to see the both of us. We'll be on live, so you do not want to miss that. I still haven't figured out what I'm going to call that, but every single Wednesday he and I are going to get on and dissect business problems and the mindset, and it's absolutely
Hold it. Liz, did you just say every Wednesday you're going to be doing a session with Jared Tendler for us to watch?
Every Wednesday. Guess what's back? It's going to be free. Jared usually charges
Oh
hundreds.
my God. My mind is blown. Jared Tendler's consulting
Yes.
every week? Really?
Really, and it's absolutely free. So you guys are going to have the opportunity to get that free. It's all part of OMG, and you guys should be really excited about that. Smack's excited about it. So we've had a lot of great things, great realizations on this webinar. I apologize to all those people. I know people are going to want my head on a stick, but I'm sorry, guys. I screwed up.
But you know what? But it's not endless because it is recorded. And the nice thing is you can stop and replay it when you're watching the recording. It's not like, this isn't a sales webinar that, oh my God, something's going away at the end of it. You have your link with your free month. So get in there. And it would probably be a better idea to have it, sign up for Profits Engine, and then watch the webinar. And if you have any questions, you can ask them to me. You can ask them to Michael. You can post them in the OMG group. Michael actually has a Profits Engine Facebook group that you can post them in for questions. So you have a 2-hour webinar that you can watch and get the training. So just because you weren't here with us now, you really haven't missed much.
Right, it is working for me, guys, so you definitely want to jump in there into Profits Engine. The link is working, so just type it in. I just copied and pasted it, so it works, so use it. It's working. Get your 30 days free. It is well worth it. I'm going to ignore all those calls. People are pretty pissed, so, all right. Well, I will see you guys next time, and I'll see you on the mini webinar tomorrow with Jared Tendler. You definitely want to jump on. It will be posted in all the groups at least an hour in advance.
Josh, dude's still on the call.
I'm sorry?
Hey, I'm still on the call. I have a question for you first before we leave.
Okay, Josh.
All right, cool. So just to keep congruency with the past Amazon apprentices, this webinar has dropped a lot of bombs and been awesome. But what should our homework be for this next week? We didn't talk too much about bundles. I mean, we did some keyword research, but should we go ahead and pack and send out our bundles, or wait till next week?
You should, if you guys have not, this webinar just kind of gave people the moment to catch up, to gather their bundles, or if they haven't sourced them, to go ahead and do those. If you already have your bundles ready, I encourage you guys, take a look at the retail arbitrage section in your members area. It will show you exactly how to prep. It'll also show you exactly how to actually get those bundles ready. The product listing will be on there live on this coming up Tuesday, and I'll show you exactly how to do that. So you can also take a look at the keyword section of the OMG members area to figure out how to start doing keyword research, get that prepared. And there's also a way in the OMG members area that it'll show you how to create a product listing. So you can already fast forward if you want, Josh, or for those of you that do not have those bundles ready, get them ready and be ready up next week. So that's pretty much the homework lesson. We just sort of have this detour. That way you guys have the best available information and tools at your arsenal, because again, this is a cutting edge technique that no one else is using, so you want to take advantage of it immediately. So sorry for not clarifying that for people. Again, we will see you guys next week. Anything else? Is that it, guys?
Answer my question. Thank you.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, you guys have a good night, and I'll see you on the mini webinar tomorrow. Take care.